Let's now shift our focus to Kenya, where Chinese loans are drowning the nation. The Kenyan president is seeking another loan of $1 billion from China to complete stalled road construction projects, shifting his earlier stance when his coalition accused the former president Uhuru Kenyatta of excessive borrowings during last year's election campaign. China has been accused of laying a debt trap all over the world, where it lends money to developing nations and then moves to seize their assets. Unlike Asian countries like Sri Lanka, Pakistan and Nepal, who fell under the Chinese spell, at least 22 low-income African nations are either already experiencing a debt crisis or are on significant risk of experiencing it. According to Treasury figures, Chinese loans account for roughly 64% of Kenya's current stock of bilateral external debt and only 17% of total external public debt. Multilateral borrowing is almost double the bilateral total, with the World Bank being Kenya's largest single external creditor. According to reports, Chinese loans, which stand at more than $8 billion, were used by former Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta's government to construct infrastructure like roads. But many of these projects have since stalled after contractors left over unpaid bills. Putting pressure on incumbent President William Ruto to complete them, he now plans to knock on China's doors for a longer repayment period while seeking $1 billion to complete pending infrastructure projects. Incidentally, President Ruto's United Nations address has sparked anxiety. He called on the global community to develop debt restructuring initiative for poor countries. Now, investors are concerned about Kenya's capacity to refinance its quickly approaching foreign obligations. International investors have requested returns of more than 18% to invest in Kenya's Eurobond, which matures in June 2024, indicating heightened fears of a government default. Rates on Kenya's 10-year Eurobond ranged between 18.4% and 18.7% last week, illustrating the increased risk that investors are placing on Kenya's short-term debt. Meanwhile, Kenya has guaranteed investors it will refinance a sizable $2 billion debut 10-year Euro bond. The current fiscal year, which ends in June 2024, Kenya faces record high foreign repayment expenditures, highlighted by Eurobond payment and money owed to Chinese lenders, primarily Exim Bank of China. Even as the Ruto administration counts on the full implementation of tax increases, the big question is, can Kenya eliminate the prospect of a sovereign default? WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.